Hello everybody, this is Zaxter99 with my first video, hopefully of many, on Life is Feudal, the new release on Steam today. It's an indie game where you can terraform the world, you can build houses, communities, epic landscaping abilities, you can join clans of people and evidently put together houses and cities and defend those. You can farm, you can plant, all kinds of seeds, stuff like that. So it's early access right now. It's, an alpha, and they're still developing the game. There's a lot of the game that's still missing. And I got my first hands-on play this weekend. And this video is to basically tell you if I think this game is worth it. And I hate to say it, guys, but even though this game looks really good and, it works, the sound effects are good. When you walk on rocks, you can hear the difference in the sounds. You have stamina, you have a health bar in the bottom left. The red bar is your health bar, the stamina bar is on the bottom left. And then you have, I believe that's a karma with a little line right in the middle. And then the little gauge after that is your hunger. And your hunger goes down real low here. But here I'm foraging for, you can scan for like copper and see if there's any copper to mine. You can forage for flint. You can forage for sling ammo, like in a rocky area. If you go and put your cursor on a bush, you can, try to collect plant fiber, different things. Here's a map. And I basically started up here. And I walked actually over to the lake, as I'm pointing out here on the map, and then I walked all the way down here, and I logged onto somebody else's server. Evidently there's 4 people on. I never saw any of the other 4 players. And here's the thing. I never saw one animal whatsoever. I hear there's animals, deer and bears and wolves and stuff like that. I didn't see a single animal in my hour and a half of playtime and covering quite a bit of territory on the map. I mean, it's cool. You can gather stuff. The problem right now is, and I love this. I mean, I love the old school Ultima Online, where you have a skill system, and that's what you have. You have skills that you can advance, and as you do things, you gain higher and higher skills. You also have skill caps and attribute caps, so that you can't be a jack of all trades. You're only going to be good at so many things, and you're going to need other players to help you. So I think this game might be fun. If you get some players to play with, you get some friends, and you get together and you do that. The problem right now is the game is $40. Here I'm, looking for bark, or I don't know exactly what I was doing here. Yeah, I'm getting tree limbs or tree branches, snapping a twig, and you can use those to make, primitive tools like shovels and axes and stuff like that. You got to collect plant fiber, and that's just going to any small plant and right-clicking on it and collecting the fiber. Here I'm trying to organize my inventory. As you can see, items just go wherever in your inventory bag. I actually love that. I think that's a lot better than the slotted system for inventory. I love it when you just have a bag and everything randomly goes in there and you got to kind of sort through it, kind of like the old school Ultima Online. I actually really like that. The problem that I'm having with the game is that I've just played alone for an hour and a half. I didn't see a single solitary animal. I didn't find anybody else at all. And everything goes so slow. I mean, yeah, it's probably going to be rewarding when you build something. But as you'll see here, just collecting a few branches off a tree just is so time consuming. And when you do this by yourself, it's tiresome. It gets really, really boring really quick, in my opinion. And I'm a patient person. I consider myself as a very patient gamer. I've been around games a long time. What this game reminds me of is this game reminds me a lot of a game that I played 3.5 years ago with Zion. And that really reminds me a lot of it. And let me show you a couple of highlights of Zion. And I have several videos on Zion from back in 2011 on my channel. You can certainly go look those up. That game went free to play, and I think you can only do so many things at the free to play level. And then there's a monthly fee. Now, I certainly don't like a monthly fee for Zion. But with Zion, too, I really, really wanted to like the game, but I never got into it, and I certainly didn't pay the monthly fee because things just move so slow. But let me show you a couple of highlights of Zion. Okay, here's Zion, me swimming through the water. As you can see, Zion 3.5 years ago had pretty decent graphics as well. And this one actually what the territory looks like, and I believe in some part of the United States. I can't even remember where this was, Washington State or somewhere. But the cool thing here with Zion was that you could also, look through. This was like an apocalypse after the end of the world, and you're survivors, and you gotta, try to salvage different things and look through scraps and try to find metal and everything. And here, I mean, you had a nice inventory system in this game as well. You can see the tree branches moving in the wind. You could take an axe and you could hack at a tree. And I remember this here. And as you can see, if you look at the UI was pretty well done. It actually showed your character animation hitting the tree, and things would take a long time to do, just like it is here in this game. As you can see, it's taken me a while to hack at this tree. I believe the bigger the tree was, the longer it took to hack down. And this game also had a skill system, much like Life is Feudal. And you could join up in different tribes with different players and go to war and different things with Zion as well. And I really like the idea of Zion a lot. I haven't played it much since 2011, but as you can see, the tree in Zion, and I believe it was just one server, one world with this game, but then you could hack the tree up into pieces and different logs and stuff like that. But the cool thing with Zion is once that tree had been hacked down, it was gone. Unless you replanted a tree there or whatever and a tree grew, that tree was completely gone from the world. And here you have different options with the logs as far as what you want to do with it and everything like that. So, a really cool game with Zion, and they really kind of started this kind of game, I believe, when they did this, and I was kind of blown away by, everything you could do in Zion 3 years ago. Another thing that I saw in Zion then was this. As you see here, I'm actually found an animal. I found a black bear, and I'm attacking it with a simple knife, I believe, and fighting it. And, that was kind of cool to be able to find a bear and then battle it with a knife, and here it is running from me, I believe, and I finally kill it, and then you can harvest its bones and, fur and meat, stuff like that. Now, I'm sure you can do that in Life is Feudal. And here's Life is Feudal again. I'm sure you can do this kind of stuff when you find animals. As you can see, the graphics are significantly better in this game than they were in Zion a few years ago. I haven't played Zion recently. I do know they went free to play, but they still have their monthly subscription to be able to do a lot of things in the game. So, you can certainly check that out. Try Zion for free. See if you like that kind of game, and maybe come here, if this is something that really, if you really like Zion, you probably like this. But it just takes so much time to do anything in this game. And I'm sure that if you get, 3 or 4 of your friends playing the game, you got to have 3 or 4 friends willing to put $40 out for this game, though. Here I'm simply crafting a tool, and I believe I'm making a shovel, a primitive shovel is what I believe I'm making here. It's hard to see in my editing screen, but it takes time to do this. It takes time to make the shovel. Yep, I got a shovel there, and so I still have some basic branches and some plant fiber, which is basically what you need, it looks like, to make a lot of this stuff. And I went ahead and made an axe here as well. I mean, this game is really cool. I really like the depth. The game depth in this game is really, really nice. And I'm sure that if you spend the time to actually, get some friends together and you spend the time to go in and figure out who's going to do what, who's going to be, this skill in crafting and who's going to be that skill in crafting, and you work together and you build some houses and stuff like that, I imagine at that point the game will be pretty rewarding. But to go out and buy this game by yourself and hope that you can jump on a server and have some quick action like in Rust or something like that, it's not going to happen. This game's not going to be like Rust or, some of the other games out there, Daisy and stuff like that, where you're just trying to survive and there's a lot of action or zombies coming at you or whatever, other players coming at you. Now, you might get in a more crowded server and have a lot of, action with other players, but starting off, you start off with nothing. You start off with some rags to wear and some food to eat, and that's it. Just a few items to eat. And the controls are pretty cool. The graphics and everything like that. Here's the skill system. As you can see, there's a lot of different skills that you can actually learn. You know, everything from archery to mining to, you know, terraforming, all kinds of different stuff that you can actually learn how to do. And there's more than 2 pages of these skills that you can learn. However, right now, a lot of these skills right now are not implemented, as you can see right here. So a lot of these different things that, you know, they have planned for the game are not yet implemented into the game. Now, there's certainly enough skills already implemented that you can get in and start doing stuff and start building different things and things like that. The question you got to ask yourself is, are you looking for a game where you're going to be in spending a lot of time? I mean, a lot of time acquiring the resources and, you know, increasing your skills. The skills are going to increase really slow. It's going to take a long time to acquire these resources. As you can see, it takes 30 seconds or whatever just to get a single branch. So you really need to ask your question, or you know, the question to yourself: are you looking for a deep game that's going to take a long time to get in and do anything? Are you looking to get in and have instant fun? So if you're looking to get in and have, you know, instant survival kind of fun and instant threats and stuff like that, this game may not be for you. You might want to spend less money and go for a game like Daisy, 7 Days to Die, or, you know, a game like Rust. But if you're looking for a very, very deep, skill-based crafting game, and, you know, where you can actually build armor and weapons and stuff like that and terraform, and it takes a lot of time to do it, then this might be your game. Here, as you see, I'm trying to terraform, and I'm trying to lower the land. And you can hold the V button down and kind of move your camera around. You can also do first or third person perspective in this game. And here you see that I've got some fertile dirt, but you really don't see that I lowered any land. I can't even notice what I've done. I've spent 30 seconds supposedly lowering land here, and I see no difference. Okay, so yeah, if I sit here and do this 50 times, I'm probably going to notice that, you know, it's a little bit flatter as I'm working on a hill here. But you're talking about a lot of time involved to flatten out an area here to put a house. Okay, and that's just flattening the area. Now, as you get better and my skill in terraforming increases, I'm guessing that I'll start doing more and more every time. So there's the reward there. You know, you spend the time, you keep doing it, you keep doing it, you keep doing it. Kind of like the old school Ultima Online. I remember, you know, making a blacksmith in that game. You know, and it was really a patient man's game to like be a blacksmith because it took forever, or a tailor or whatever. You know, to tame animals, whatever it was in Ultima Online. If you had the patience, it could be really rewarding because you would be like, you know, supreme at whatever it was you were doing. And here I'm doing something with a tree. And you know, you have a lot of different options. You can right click on pretty much anything and get options on what to do. Here I'm seeing how much this food restores my hunger level because I didn't want to start dying, so I'm eating some of these items that it gives you to start with. And as you can see, it's restoring, it looks like a random amount, anywhere from like 6 to 10 health maybe, or not health, but 6 to 10 hunger points, whatever. Here I'm looking at a small tree, and I have different options here. One of the options is to go ahead and chop it down. And I like here I go into first person mode. On a small tree, you can see that the branch is so small that it just kind of sinks into the ground and disappears. And this was the first time I did that, and I'm like, what the heck? Where is it? I can't get it, you know? And I was like, really confused. So, okay, I'm like, okay, let me try this bigger tree. But here I didn't have the option to chop it down. So I had to come to just a little bit bigger of a tree, somewhere in the medium, about this size. I think this one, I don't know if this one sunk into the ground too or not. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, see, that one sinks into the ground again. So there's nothing I can do here. It's just stuff I can do for the ground as far as search for food or look for minerals or, you know, different things there. All the options that you can see as far as what you can do just by right-clicking on any piece of ground. Like if you right click on a rocky area, you're going to have options to look for flint and small stones for a slingshot and different things like that. So here I am looking for food, looking for apples on different trees, looking for anything to help satisfy my hunger, since I can't seem to find any kind of animals. So here I come to a little bit bigger tree and start chopping it down. And as you can see, now I actually have a log that doesn't sink into the ground, and I can right click on it and carry it. Takes a second and I put it on my back, and now I'm going to move really slow. I mean, that's realistic. I like that. That's kind of cool. Again, you're talking about a time constraint, though. This is not a game where you're going to get in and be able to, you're not going to be able to build something near as quickly as you could in, Minecraft or something like that. It's going to take a lot longer. So here I am. It shows you, this is the first time I've actually placed an item, and I was really trying to figure it out. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And I picked up the log again, and the option is to place it down. Now here you can use these to figure out, not to figure out, but tell the game where you want to place it, how you want to place it, how high you want to place it, and exactly where you want to place it. I can move it up and down, as you can see. Move it left and right, and back and forth with the different arrows. And this is something that you're going to get better at as you play the game. Here I am picking it up again. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the log. I thought that it would be kind of like Zion in the video I showed before, where, I could, once I chopped a tree down, then I could chop it into smaller pieces or logs or something like that to use it. But it doesn't look like this game works quite that way. If you want like usable sticks or whatever, you just kind of break a branch off the tree, is what it looks like anyway. Now maybe if I had crafted a saw or something like that, I would have the option to saw this up into more useful logs. I don't know. I haven't played the game long enough to know all the ins and outs of the game. So here I come up to another small tree. And I was going to go ahead and break this video down and make it go a little bit quicker so you can kind of see how it worked. But I want you guys to see, that this is a time-consuming affair. Just kind of getting into the game and working through it. Looking at all your different options and how much time it takes to chop down the tree, and then to put the tree on your back, and then to take it where you want to take it, and then to place it. Because if the honest truth is that if this video is going to bore you, you're probably going to be bored by the game. Obviously you'll be doing it, so it'll be more entertaining in that regard, but this is just not, at least especially if you're just going into a world like by yourself like I did here, you're probably not going to be presented with all kinds of, devastatingly exciting action. So here I am trying to figure out how to place it, and I made a mistake here because you really want to try to put that green square over the log you had already placed. So here I am trying to move up. There we go, I finally canceled it so I can replace it. And again, I didn't have the green square over my existing log, so I'm trying to place it on top of the log, and it's really not letting me, place it directly on top of it. So what you really want to do when you place a second log, if you're trying to place it on top of another one, to like build a wall or whatever, you want to get close to it like I did here, and then right click the ground. So see how the green square is right above my existing log, and now I'm going to be able to place this log right under it or right over it or whatever as I do here. And I'm trying to get it halfway exact so it kind of matches by turning it. And this is kind of what you're looking at with this game. This is the kind of, you have a lot of control in a game like this. You have skills that you can level up and do this stuff faster, but you have a ton of control on exactly what these walls are going to look like, exactly where they're going to be. And as you can see, I'm right here, I'm trying to walk through it just to test it. It doesn't let me walk through, so that's good. And, you know, I can jump over to this point. But I'm going to, you know, what I want to do with this game as I go ahead and look for apples, I think is what I'm doing here on this one. And what I want to do with this game, though, is I want to play it a lot more. Hopefully I'll have the inspiration to play it a lot, you know, some more, and kind of get into it more and see what happens once I maybe find some other players to play with or get on a more populated server, and hopefully be able to work with people to build a village or something and build some weapons and, you know, maybe have some kind of wars or something with other players. But at this point, I don't know that I can recommend this game at this stage of the alpha of the game, especially for the asking price of $40. The good thing is that, you know, once you buy it, you're not going to have to pay a monthly fee or something like that to have all the skills and options available, as in a game like Zion. And here I am placing another log from a tree that I cut down. And I'm trying to place it right on top. And just kind of see how the process works. You know, the learning process of learning how to play a game like this is, you know, it takes a little bit of time as well. I haven't watched a whole lot of videos on this like a month ago or whenever when I saw this game or whatever. I remember watched a YouTube video on it, and it looked pretty cool. But they had already like a village already built and, you know, weapons and stuff like that. So it looked a little more immediately entertaining than when I actually got the game. The cool thing is, you know, you can't walk through trees or anything like that. There's not a whole lot of glitches. I did notice while I was traveling across the world, I did see this, however, so I want to go ahead and point out some of the bugs that I did see in the hour and a half that I played the game. So while I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here, and I want to show you what I ran into while I was running across the world. Alright, here I had reached this is the lake point in the middle of the map. And you can see here basically the crack in the land. You know, this is what you call tearing, graphical tearing, right here where there's a seam where the map is put together. And you know, if you can ignore this, if this isn't going to bother you much, but I saw about 2 or 3 of these while I was running across the world. And here it doesn't look too bad, but as you can see, like right here by the lake, it's pretty noticeable, the tearing there. So you're going to see stuff like this. Now, I'm sure that, you know, as this game gets closer and closer to being an official release, it's no longer an alpha and early access. You know, I'm sure that this kind of stuff will be resolved, and they'll go ahead and make that look a lot better. But right now, this is the kind of stuff you're going to see. So, you know, I kind of want to show you guys what kind of stuff you might see. You know, also, when I got into this game, honestly, I was expecting to see at least a deer or two, or, you know, a wolf or something that might chase me or something. I thought that would have been kind of cool, but, you know, it looks like my only way to die right now is to starve to death, and the hunger really goes down a lot slower than it does in, like, Rust, for example, if you have experience with that. So here I am, you know, again, just running across the terrain. So at this point, unless you got some friends you want to play with and you have a lot of patience, I'm going to give this game a no. Don't buy. It's not worth the $40 US to get into it. Even though it looks really promising. I mean, Zion 3.5 years ago looked really promising, and I like the ideas of that. But I never played it because it just took so long to do anything. And at least in that game, I was able to find animals and find other players, stuff like that. You know, this game has advantages over Zion. The graphics are a lot better. You can make your own server, kind of make your own rules, you know. You're going to need to play with other players. This isn't a game that you can play by yourself, for sure. But if you have a few friends and you like games that are slow development like this and that you can skill up, you like the skill system, which I love, then yeah, you might go for it. But right now, this isn't a game for me. I'm going to keep trying it to see if this game, you know, turns more fun as I get to do more stuff. It may be a while, and this is one of the reasons I haven't released a video yet on this game, but it's just going to take a long time to be able to get anywhere to where you're going to be able to make, where I can make some fun videos for you guys. So when I get there, I do plan on releasing those videos. In the meantime, I would love for you guys to give me your comments down below. Maybe you know how to have a lot more fun, a lot quicker. And I'm sure that's by getting in with, a populated server and getting in with a bunch of other players that maybe have something built up or whatever. But if you want to invite me to server to get in on the action and do something a little more than walking around this, really low population server by myself like I did here, let me know down there. And I'm sure I could go to the forums and kind of research that. And I mean, you have a server list when you open it up, and you can see how many people are on the server and what the ping is. And a lot of those servers, though, that are really have a lot of people seem like they have passwords and stuff like that, or they're locked, so you can't get into them. But if you guys have already bought this game, if you have a different opinion on this game, if you can help me out in any way, whatever it is, be sure you put those comments down below. I definitely read every comment. If you haven't yet subscribed to me, you can do that by moving your mouse to the upper right corner of this video and clicking subscribe. You can also rate my video up or thumbs up, thumbs down. That definitely lets me know if the content that I'm putting out is something you guys are appreciating. So definitely let me know, what you're thinking. Down in the comments below, definitely subscribe, share this video, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. It definitely helps me out. This has been Zaxter99 with Life is Feudal, and I do plan on putting out more videos, but I want to get to the point where I know more about the game, first of all, and where I can make some videos that are a little more entertaining than what I've done today. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. My opinion on this game, again, if you're just looking to go in and play by yourself, solo or whatever, this game is not like Rust. It's not like DayZ at all. It's a lot slower development. You're going to have a lot more patience to do things. So if you're looking for more immediate entertainment, being able to build a house a lot quicker, being able to build a shack like you can in Rust, in a matter of minutes, it's not going to happen here, not even close. Even if you have friends, it's going to take a while. So if that's what you're looking for, this game is a definite no-buy. If you're into a deep skill system, a very deep crafting game, a game that is going to reward you big time by spending the time, then I'm going to give this game a thumbs up. This game looks really, really good. For alpha, there's not a whole lot of bugs that I noticed. And if you're looking for something like that, it's going to take a lot more time. You're looking for the deep skill system like Ultima Online used to have, and something that's going to be a lot more, I don't know, risk versus reward, but it's going to be a lot more rewarding for you when you put in the time, then this might be the game for you. But anyway, that's just where my opinion is right now after an hour and a half in the game, not seeing any animals, not running into any other players. I'm kind of like, I'm looking for more, I think. So I will get there, and when I get there and I can make some more exciting videos to give you guys, I will definitely do that right here on my channel. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. This has been Zaxter99. Have a good day, good night. Take care.
To the wedge!